Hiya! Welcome! So it's Records Roundup number 56 today, and as you've seen from the title of the video, the thumbnail, etc, etc, it's an Enya special. That's right, all the records, and it is all vinyl today, because all of this I do already own either on CD or mini disc. But all of the albums here are vinyl releases from Enya, who I'm a massive fan of, as long-time viewers of the channel know. So before I get going, just a little bit of background. Enya's an artist who I've been thinking about doubling up on in my collection. And when I say doubling up, that usually means I've been collecting a certain artist on one format, and then I want to collect the same but on a different format. So with Enya, it's been predominantly CD and mini disc, although I do have the Box of Dreams vinyl box set that came out last year, or was released on vinyl for the first time last year I should say. There is an unboxing of that in my music collecting playlist. And also I've got the May It Be reissue picture disc single as well. But I wanted to get her studio albums plus something else all on vinyl. Now I say all, there's not all of her studio albums here, and I'll explain near the end which ones are missing and why. Let's get cracking. There's a mail opening to do at the end, which is often the case, and I think I should be showing you these in original release chronological order, except one kind of isn't, but I'll explain about that later. Right, so let's just get going with this first pickup here. A nice and easy pickup this, and nice and cheap as well. It is the 2018 reissue of Enya's technically second solo album, second studio album, but definitely a breakthrough, and many people think it's a debut anyway, Watermark. So this came out originally in 1988. The version I've got here is a 2018 reissue, as is a couple of others that I'm going to be showing you later on. This one is widely available still. Some of the other ones not so much, but we'll get on to that. It's all black vinyl today, so this should be quite a quick video really. I'm not going to be getting any of these new and sealed records out today. There is one that's pre-owned coming up, so I'll show you that. Of course, this has got Orinoco Flow on it. Another single was Evening Falls, Storms in Africa, of course. Good album, not my very favourite by Enya, but it's certainly up there. That is Watermark. So the next one to show you was a Discogs pickup, and this is the only pre-owned one, and it was actually some false advertising on Discogs. I was quite annoyed by it. I'll show the album. It's Enya's follow-up to Watermark, Shepherd Moons. I wanted the 2018 reissue. Now from Shepherd Moons onwards, everything after Watermark seems to be like in really limited quantities, so it's going for more on the aftermarket. But this was a reasonable price from a seller in Norway. It was classed, because that's where it was listed on Discogs Marketplace, as the 2018 remaster. I don't think it was classed as new and sealed, but it was like near mint or something. And then when I received this, it didn't take long to come from Norway. I could tell pretty much as soon as I got it out, this is an original 1991 European pressing, which is fine, but if I'd wanted to get that, I would have looked for it, and I would have been able to get it much cheaper than having to rely on a seller in Norway. So I quite annoyed actually. I had sent a message to this seller, and to be fair to him, he did give me a partial refund pretty much instantly of I think €18. So this didn't end up costing as much as maybe what it would have done ultimately, but it still annoyed me a little bit that I had to chase it up and then get a refund or a partial refund on it. But glad to have it on vinyl. It is, I think, my favourite Enya album. I did do a ranking of Enya's studio albums some months ago. That's in my music charts and ranking playlist, by the way, for anyone who hasn't seen it. And it was a toss-up between this and A Day Without Rain, really, as to what's my favourite Enya studio album, and this one won out on the day. So as this one is an original 1991 pressing and it's not new and sealed, I can show it you, but there's not really much to look at. Presumably that's the original inner there, it being all plain. There's your centre label. Great album. The actual remaster, the 2018 reissue, I'm saying remaster, I don't know if they are remastered, I'm assuming they would be to an extent, but I don't know. But that seems really rare. I mean, hindsight tells me I probably should have ignored that listing because it was such a good price from Norway. It couldn't have been the edition that I thought it was, but anyway, that is Shepherd Moons, Enya's third studio album. And then we move on to her debut album, but I'm showing it you third in this list because this is a reissue of the reissue. It'll explain on screen in a sec, but The Celts, originally known as Enya, self-titled, a BBC, pretty much like a soundtrack album for the documentary series The Celts from 1987. But this got a 1992 reissue and a change of name with this new sleeve. I've got, of course, this album already on CD. By the way, Watermark and Shepherd Moons, I've got those on mini disc. So I thought I'd show this after Shepherd Moons because this, in this sort of cover design and this format here, it was a 92 release rather than a 1987 release, but it doesn't matter ultimately. This was from a seller on Discogs, I think one in the UK. And to say this is like everything apart from Watermark, quite rare now. It wasn't too bad, I think it was under £30 actually. I was pretty lucky to get this, and it's new and sealed as well. Very happy to get The Celts, aka Enya, into the collection for the second time, and the first time that I've got it in this reissued, redesigned format as well. We move on to what I think was a pretty lucky purchase from eBay. It was actually an auction win, this. I think although that probably didn't make a lot of difference ultimately, because I didn't search for the album title, I just searched for Enya on vinyl record. But the album title was misspelt in the auction listing. Whether that made much difference, I don't know. I won the auction. It was about the top end of my maximum bid, whatever that was. It was probably about £40 to be perfectly honest, but delighted that I got it. This is Amarantine. This album was originally from, if I can see the date on it, 2005. I've got this on CD. I think that's one of the few CDs in my collection. Well, more than a few, but certainly one of the few Enya items in my collection that I've never shown on the channel before, simply because I had that CD years before I even started doing music related YouTube videos. Another one that, as you can see, is brand new and sealed, and another one that is pretty expensive to get on the aftermarket now. I just kind of got lucky really that when I was deciding to double up on Enya, that this one was available in auction and I was the lucky winner. The CD version I've got has actually got a bonus Christmas disc. I think it's like a Christmas EP really, but this is just the standard album with 6 tracks on side A and another 6 on side B. Delighted to have got Amarantine into the collection again. The penultimate Enya pickup today is not a studio album. This is, along with Watermark, pretty easy to get, not too expensive, and it's widely available, and it is a compilation. It's the very best of Enya. It's a double LP set, 4 sides altogether. I've got this on CD. I think the CD's got more tracks on it, and in fact the CD version I've got's got a bonus DVD on it as well, which is quite nice, as it's got like interviews and stuff as well, and making of featurettes. This was £20 from Vinyl Tap, about as cheap as I've seen this, brand new. This has been reissued a few times in recent years. I think this might be a 2019 edition. Plenty of big singles on here. Also some deeper album cuts, as it were. Some of my very favourites on here, like Wild Child, The Celts, Only Time, of course. Just covers Enya's career without being massively comprehensive. The Box of Dreams set is pretty comprehensive, but that only goes up to Enya's career to about the mid-90s, to about 95, 96. Whereas this obviously has more recent stuff, as this was originally out near the end of the 2000s. But the last thing I'm going to show in the mail opening is the most recent thing of all in relation to the Enya chronology. Really happy that I got that for £20, the very best of Enya. So I said there was a mail opening to do, and it's this here from Yahoo Auctions in Japan. This was another one, an actual auction rather than the buy it now thing that I won. I used the Buy Intermediary app, which just makes shopping on Japanese websites easier. There's extra fees, but you know, when you're getting something from Japan and you want it to come in good condition, Buy or something similar, there is other services out there. Buy's just the one that I use, as I don't know, it was probably recommended to me, or I just came across it before any of the others, I can't remember. So I have been using it, not regularly, but occasionally, for a few years now. This is another one that I think is brand new and sealed. Actually no, it's not, but it doesn't matter. It's been separated out, so I probably will show you the vinyl actually. But it has been put in an adhesive plastic sleeve here. Let's take that out, excuse the annoying noise. I'll just put the disc down there for now. So the album I'm talking about is Enya's most recent studio album to date, Dark Sky Island. This is an original release from 2015, I think it was. There again, I'm doubling up, I already have the compact disc. The previous owner in Japan has conserved the cellophane, although there's no hype sticker or anything, so it perhaps wasn't ultimately necessary. And there's the inner sleeve as well. So it's nice to be able to show you another album in a bit more detail here, to be honest. Whether Enya will release another album, I would have thought so. I mean, she just works at her own pace, really. I'd be very surprised if there wasn't another Enya album coming out within the next maybe couple of years or so, but who knows. And then the disc, it's been put in one of these anti-static bags. The disc is black obviously, but feels a little bit weighty. Could be 180 gram or possibly 140 gram. I find it difficult to tell, to be perfectly honest. But looks, from what I can tell, in excellent condition, barely a mark on it. So while yeah, it's not an absolutely new mint sealed item, I think this is about as close to near mint as you can get. And when someone's packaging something and they're separating stuff out and putting the record in an anti-static bag, etc., you know that the previous owner has shown some care and attention. There we go, Dark Sky Island, all the way from Japan. Expensive. The actual auction win was a little bit cheaper than I thought, but once you factor in the fees and the postage, this was, I think, over £50 ultimately. but when you look on Discogs and you're having to order from somewhere international there as well, you know, it's the same kind of price, more really, if I'm honest. And at least with Buy, I know that in their warehouse they're going to be inspecting stuff and they'll let me know if there's any defaults or damage during transit or anything like that. So it's worth paying a little bit extra. This is my favourite pickup of the day because this one is the most difficult and arguably the most expensive one to get out of the Enya catalogue on vinyl. Dark Sky Island.
Echoes in rain, drifting in waves, long journey home, never too late. Black as a crow, night comes again, everything blows, here comes another new day. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
And that's all the Enya pickups today. I did say that there was some that I'm still missing on vinyl, and how long it'll take me to find any of those for a good price remains to be seen. The ones I'm missing are The Memory of Trees, which I do have on CD, A Day Without Rain, which I have on mini disc, and Winter Came, the Christmas album, which I've also got on compact disc. All of those at the moment, at the time of me looking, are just too expensive for me to warrant buying on Discogs, and I don't even know if any of them have come up on eBay. None of those had original vinyl releases back during their initial release, like say Shepherd Moons did, and Watermark and the Celts obviously. The only way to get those on vinyl is to get the 2018 reissues, and I think there might be a US version for each of them as well that came out the year previous. But I'm going to keep looking, and anything that I may get relating to Enya, I'll just show you in a future normal records roundup. But thank you for watching this one, hope you enjoyed it. I want to give special thanks, as always, to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. Please see my Patreon link and my Facebook group link to get social in the description text box, along with other interesting referral links. I'm going to go now. Lots of Enya to listen to. Don't know what I'm going to start with because I love it all. Yeah, some albums are better than others. That is always the case, no matter what artist it is, but they're all going to get listened to. And because she's my favourite female solo artist, they're all going to be thoroughly enjoyed in old Jimbo's house. And I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next records roundup and record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!